Hey everybody, I know you want to get to your next video of Jim pranking Dwight, but let me tell you a couple of things about the SpotOn collar, and then you can skip to the next video if you want, or you can stick around for some of the details. First, let me just tell you right now for Black Friday, SpotOn has the best deal they've ever had on this collar. It's the biggest discount they've ever offered. The link to see that promotion is down below. Now, sometimes these videos, you see the videos after the promotions leave. Don't worry, that link down below is going to always take you to whatever promotion, the best deals you can find at the time on these SpotOn collars. So even if it's after Black Friday and you're worried about it expired, this will still take you to the best deal available. So click down below to check it out. Let me quickly tell you 6 things I love about this collar, and then I'll get into the details in a minute, or if you want, you can skip to Jim pranking Dwight. First thing I love about this collar is this collar has totally changed my dog's life. On good days, my dog was getting out for an hour to an hour and a half. Now my dog gets out for 5 to 6 to 7 hours, and I don't have to worry about him. It's totally changed his life as a dog. He gets to free roam, he gets to explore, he gets to check out his curiosity, and I know he's safe. So I love this for what it's done for my dog. Second of all, I love what it's done for my pocketbook. You know, $1,200 is the retail, is the typical price. Check the link below to see the great deals that are going on right now. But when I tell people that the collar is $1,200, they get these big eyes and they say, I can't believe you'd spend that much on a dog collar. But it's way cheaper than if I were to build a nice big kennel that would give him or offer him the exercise he's getting now. And it's even a better deal when you consider the cost associated with fences. Now, stick around in the video and I'll explain the cost of my fences and how much cheaper. But to give you just an idea, this collar was 1/10 of what it would have cost me to do fences to keep my dog in. So pocketbook friendly. Number 3, I loved how easy it was to train. I actually turned the training over to my 13-year-old daughter. I did it the first day with her, and then I turned everything over to her. Later in the video, I'll show you an example of her training Odin and exactly how she did it. It's super easy. Really the only thing you have to be is consistent. She did it really well, and Odin has done awesome ever since we finished the training regimen. So the 4th thing I love about it is just how easy the app is to use. Whether I want to track my dog, whether I want, if I want to use the new updates, which brings me to the 5th thing. I love the updatability of this collar. So SpotOn just came out with 2 new features. The first one is a light. There's a light that you can turn on from your app. So if it's nighttime and your dog's way out there, I can turn that light on. Bam, I know I can visually see him. I can also see him tracking on the app, but sometimes it's nice to do it to visually see him running around. And then the other one's a recall, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute as well. But this collar didn't come with that. I didn't buy this. Now, if you buy other collars and you buy version 2, but then they come out with version 3, unless you go buy version 3, you can't get the new features. And that's frustrating. With the GPS, I haven't seen that with SpotOn. I got this collar and all of the updates, any new features they've come out with since I got the collar from them. I just uploaded the update, took less than 1 minute, and it was good to go. All right, 6th thing, and this is, depending on you, this may not be as big of a deal for you, but for me, it's my productivity. We just moved into this house. I've got a ton of projects. Being able to let my dog out and go and then be able to focus on the project that I'm working on, that's been a big deal. I don't have to worry. I don't have to stop every 10 minutes or set a timer to make sure that I call him back to me. And I know that some of you are going to say, well, you just train your dog to do that. Well, keep watching my video and I'll explain to you why that's not always the best solution and why sometimes that fails. And those failures can be tragic. SpotOn is the best collar I've ever had. Quite frankly, it's the best anything I've ever had for allowing my dog to run free and stay safe at the same time. So now let me go. If you want to skip over to Jim and Dwight, jump over, skip over. If you haven't already, if this has been helpful so far, click the subscribe button, give me a like. That helps kind of spread it around. If you know somebody that's looking for a SpotOn collar or they're looking for a solution to keep their dogs on their property, share this with them. Send this to them and see if it interests them, especially with the deal that's going on right now. You don't want to miss that. But thanks for joining me so far. If you want to stick around for some of the specifics that I mentioned earlier, then don't go anywhere. Otherwise, tell Jim and Dwight I said hi. And the thing that quite frankly makes this collar worth every penny. This collar has completely changed my dog's experience. Before, we live on 3.5 acres and there's a lot of projects to do. There's a lot of projects in the house. We just moved in, but there's some things that still need to be finished up in there. There's corrals to be built and fencing to put up for animals. When I was doing those projects, If it was a project that was going to require my complete attention, I couldn't afford to have my dogs out, because if they're running around the property and they jump a pheasant, well, guess what? A 3.5, 4-year-old Labrador who I've trained to hunt pheasants, you want to know what he's going to do? He's going to go chase the pheasant. If he catches wind of sheep, his curiosity, he's never done anything to them, but the people that own the sheep, they don't particularly like seeing my my Labrador running around and investigating their sheep herd, so or flock, or whatever you call a group of sheep. So before, it was really, frustrating for me, frustrating for the dogs. I could get them out, I could play with them, and they would get their exercise, but only when I was right there. But if I had to go do a project that required a lot of attention, I couldn't leave them out. And so now with the collar, it doesn't matter if my project's outside or inside. I can come out in the morning, I can put the collar on him, I can let him loose. I've got the cell plan from SpotOn. That notifies me if he ever leaves the boundary, and if he ever does, I can come catch him. Now, the thing that's really the thing that really excites me about the collar is we spent a full 2.5, 3 weeks training him. I think it took about 17 days before we started letting him off and letting him just kind of go by himself. So we invested the time in training him and doing the training right. And I've not ever had him leave the boundary since we finished that training session. Okay, I guess, so we mentioned the training. Training was super easy. Here's a quick clip of how we trained Odin. I'll maybe do a full video on our training experience later, but this is a short clip of my daughter, Grace. She's 13 years old, and she essentially did all of the training. I spent a day and a half or 2 days with her, kind of showing her how to do it, and she took over the rest of the training. Here's Grace. Let her show you how we trained Odin. So right here, Gracie's found kind of where that beep is at, and so she's just going to do a lot of the training to begin with right here at this point. And right there she hears it, so she gives him a nice little tug. All right, let's talk money, because every time I tell somebody that I've got this SpotOn collar and they ask how much it is, I say it's $1,200. Their eyes bug out and they're like, I can't believe anyone would spend $1,200 on a collar. If you live in a suburb and you live on a little postage size lot, then yeah, this collar might not be for you, at least for around the house. Now, if you live on that postage size lot, but you go camping a lot, this collar with the cell plan, it still might be worth it. But in my situation, I've got 3.5 acres. For me to build a fence all the way around this property, if I were to have somebody come in and do it and make a fence that would be dog worthy, I would be over $10,000 to have somebody else do it. If I wanted to just buy the materials and do it myself, I'm probably looking at 3 or 4 Saturdays, which that's worth something, plus almost $5,000 in material, and that's post and then a beam to go across the top. And then even with that, so if I do it, I'm $5,000 and four weekend shot. If I pay somebody else to do it, I'm over $10,000. The problem with that is, guess what? I've got pretty good topsoil around here, and it's not going to take much for my dog to dig out. So even if I invest the $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to fence my property in, that's still not dog proof. I'm still going to have to spend time every single year. Anybody that has fences knows that you spend time every year going around and fixing the fences. And so even with that investment, I'm still not done. That investment, if I decide to keep my dog in with fences, it's over and over and over again. Now, for everybody who's going to say, well, just train your dog, I'm sorry, but that to me is a dreamland. To think that I can train an animal, any animal, to such a degree that their instincts are not ever going to take over without any kind of correction or without me being right there, I think that's unrealistic. I just don't think that's possible. These are animals. And anybody who says that's possible, I'm nervous about being around your dog because you probably treat him more like a person than you do a dog. And you quit realizing the fact that they are still an animal and they can still turn on you and bite. We have to have things in place so that, yes, primarily our training and our experience and our relationship with our dogs is going to be at the forefront of their mind. But like I was saying with my Labrador earlier, if he kicks up a pheasant, there is stuff that Labradors have been bred to do that is inside of him. It's in his DNA, and he's going to do it. Now, can I train that out of him? Yeah, you can train that out as far as a conditioned response, but every once in a while, the animal in him comes out, and he's going to chase that bird, and that chasing that bird might take him across the street. It might take him onto somebody else's property, and where I live, to be honest, not everybody is patient enough to call me and say my dog's on their property. A lot of times they just go get their firearms. So the good, the bad, and the ugly is, yeah, I can spend a lot of money on a fence, but that's going to be a continual investment. Hands down, the SpotOn GPS collar is the best. It's the best money I could spend on keeping my dog on my property, but giving him the range of the whole space. So, all right, the other thing that I really have liked about the SpotOn dog collar is the app is very intuitive. You open it up, you can see the collar. The home screen, if you click on the dog at the bottom, right away you can see if your dog's, if the collar's on, how many satellites it's got, how much battery life it's got. Holy smokes, you guys are dog-focused super fans. If you're still watching this, then kudos to you. I really appreciate you watching the video this far through. Seriously, if you have anybody that's looking for a SpotOn collar, share this video with them, because the link down in the below, it's a great Christmas present to them, just helping them save as much as you are if you send this and share this with them. If there's anything you would like to know about the SpotOn collar, please leave me a comment down below. If there's anything you'd like to see me try with the collar, leave me a message down below. We're still out experimenting with it. We're still out having some fun. So please click on that. Leave a message down below. If you haven't already subscribed, if you were watching the video this far, you're already a subscriber. That's just how it is. I know it is. If for whatever reason you got up and walked away and you're just coming back to the computer and we're just ending, hit the subscribe button anyway. Give me a like, share it with others. It really helps the video kind of get out there and helps other people learn about the SpotOn collar. So really appreciate you watching. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.